Life, death, and life. That is always the message I have for people at this time of the year of Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The death and resurrection of Jesus. Life, death, and life. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office, and you're with Mission Alive. We all know about life and death. Life, death, and life is something we must come to believe and come to know. So, we have life, many trees like this, many plants. Death and life. And more importantly, we have life in the seeds of new life. And those seeds will grow back to something like this. It's not only our faith in what happened to Jesus. He lived his life, a full life, and then he took his life into his own hands in a way. And I spoke a little while ago about Jesus' mission. Heading up to Jerusalem, Peter defied him and he said to Peter, "Get behind me." He knew on his mission that it was a crisis time for him to go up to Jerusalem and confront the authorities. And he died. Terrible death. And he rose. But that's the message he's giving us about life, about creation. Each one of us, our life, we live, we die, we live again. And not only when we actually die physically, but all through life. We have times of life, we have times of death. Might be the death of another person, the grieving, the loss that we have. That's very real. Might be when we go through a crisis in our life for whatever reason. We have an accident, we have a sickness, we get sacked, there's a divorce, there's a breakup, all kinds of reasons why we go into a crisis, and that's like a death. And we have to go through that death. And in that time, we have to be saying, there is life. I will come to life again. And this is life. Death is part of life. And new life is part of life. And in those moments of death, when we might be sick, depressed, grieving, upset, disturbed, displaced, whatever, that's the time of death. But we will live again. And you see this all the time with many, many people, particularly, I think, often of refugees and migrants. They have to leave their place, leave their home, perhaps leave their family. That's a death. But they live again. And we think at this time, too, the many people who are actually dying and being killed in violent wars. Ukraine comes to mind, of course, that's in the front pages of everything. Myanmar, Thailand, all kinds of places where there's war. There's probably more wars going on in the world than we realize because they're not on the headlines. There's probably dozens of wars. Then we move down to like conflicts, protests, all kinds of things. What's going on in Iran at the moment, what's going on in France at the moment, in all kinds of places around the world. There's protests, strikes, often violent. It's a process of dying, but it's also a process of trying to bring things to life. But many people are dying unjustly, being imprisoned unjustly. That's a form of death. Our hope as Christians that there is life again in those places of conflict, of protest, of demonstration. There's got to be hope that all sides of those disputes can come through that to live again and to live a better life, to have new life. to have the new life, to bloom again. This is our enduring Christian hope. And this is our mission, to give people that sense of new life, that hope of new life, and to give them new life. That's what we do in the mission office, all the projects that we do. We mention all the time: water, youth, health, environment, missions. It's all about bringing the new life to people. Thank you for being with us on this mission.